So before we finish the host side, where you actually can see your bookings and things like that, that turns out to be one of the most complex types of queries we're doing in this entire application. I want to make sure that you can book some stuff so you can see it, so the data comes out when we write it. That'll make a lot more sense. So let's take a moment and focus on the guest side of the things. Let people come in, log in, create an account, register their snakes, and so on. So if we go up to the top to our little switch action thing here, notice that I'm using the create and login from hosts. There's no reason to write that code twice. We'll just use that one. Now, the thing I want to focus on for a moment is adding a snake and viewing your snake. Now, this is super similar to what we already did. So let's go ahead and just talk through this real quick instead of write it from scratch. So just like before, we have to have an account. We ask a few basic questions like, what is your snake's name? Let them cancel by hitting nothing in the first one. Get the information about the snake, and then we call the function add snake. And you can see this is very similar. So we're going to get the owner back, and maybe it makes more sense because we've been writing the others like this to go like this. We're going to create the snake and save it. But remember, the relationship between snake and owners is managed by the snake IDs inside of the owner. So we're going to go get a fresh copy of the owner from the database, update that, and save it. And then we'll give back the snake that we just created. Also, we call a quick reload account to make sure the snake IDs, for some reason, if they get reused real quick, are in the active in-memory account. So that's all it means to create a snake, just like creating a cage was. So everything is exactly the same there. And then to view your snakes, we just write the function, get me the snakes for the user, and then we loop over them. That again is very much like the cages. We get the owner, in this case, just to be sure that we have the fresh set of IDs there. And then we do the ID in owner.snakeIDs, and we can call the all function and then convert it to a list. I suppose we could probably skip this, but either way, this is all good. So this gives us our snakes, and we're going to list it out. Let's go ahead and just run that to make sure this is all working here. This time we're going to be a guest, and let's go ahead and log in. And this time I want to log in as Sarah. So Sarah is going to be my guest, and Michael is going to be the person with the cages. So log in. So we're logged in as Sarah. And let's say I'd like to view my snakes. You have 0 snakes. Okay, let's add a snake. Then I have Slither, and Slither is 1.2 meters long. This is a large gardener. And no, those are not venomous. So we've created Slither, and let's add one more snake. This is going to be Bully, and Bully is 0.4 meters. Let's say this is a bull snake. No. Now, if we say view your snakes, there's your 2 snakes. Okay, so our guest side of registering a snake so that we can book it into a cage and viewing it, that kind of stuff is all finished.